Alex Risenkampff, welcome to my living room.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Where are you zooming in from?
I'm zooming in from Boulder, Colorado.
Oh, nice. I heard Colorado's so beautiful.
It is absolutely beautiful. We're just on the foot of the Rocky Mountains, and
Oh,
the weather
oh.
is great as pretty much always, 300 days a year. So, good place.
Yeah, well, it's a great place to be in quarantine, right?
It is, I would say so, yeah. If in quarantine, it's nice to have a place that has wonderful outdoors and beautiful nature. And so that's what a lot of Coloradoans do when quarantine is not happening, and even more so right now.
Yeah. Before we dive into everything you are doing, what's the status of what's going on in Colorado? Because here in New Jersey, we were opening up and now things have slowed down to the point that now wearing masks outdoors are mandatory.
So wearing masks outdoors is something that happens here in Colorado as well, even though it's not exactly mandatory. But let's say you go on a hike, folks will wear masks, and if you don't, you're it's frowned upon.
Yeah.
I think COVID never got super bad here in Colorado. There was a little bit of reopening, and I think they've shut down bars and stuff like that again. So we never really got to where you guys in New Jersey got to, but I think that things are getting more strict here as well.
Yeah, oh, it's such scary times, and for a lot of businesses. However, I would imagine that a business that kind of boomed during this time is the podcasting world, which is why we're here to talk about your entity, GetVokl.
Yeah, absolutely. So podcasting boomed to a certain extent, but all of the commuters that listen to podcasts didn't. So there was also a little bit of a dip. But GetVokl is more than just traditional podcasting. We call it interactive podcasting. And essentially, it's podcasters that do interactive live video shows to engage with their audience and their fans and build community amongst their fans.
So how do they do that? Do they have to log on the app and do like what we're doing right now live, or is it something that could be pre-recorded and uploaded?
So both, but the main experience is live. So essentially what we're building is we're building a dedicated interactive live video platform for podcasters. So imagine sort of the interactivity that you have on Zoom, but more show focused format, like let's say Facebook Live, put together and really built for podcasters.
So
So that's what GetVokl, that's what we have done. And then, of course, all of these shows can be recorded as well. There's a discovery element on the platform. There's a social element. You can become friends. You can subscribe to a podcaster's channel. So it's a lot more than just the actual live show.
what was the inspiration for you starting this platform?
That's a great question. The inspiration was really that I felt social media is under delivering on creating valuable connections for people. I think in spite of being super connected with everyone else on the web, potentially people feel more alone. The quality of the interactions online is very superficial at best and very hostile at worst. Of course, there's exceptions, but I think in general that's what social media has become, right? And it has a lot to do
It's
with
full for a lot of negativity.
exactly, and and then you'll have cynical people that say humankind just sucks, but I don't believe that. I think that we're great as people, and that we just need interactive or forms of interaction that speak to our strengths. And just doing stuff via text and asynchronously does not speak to our strengths. There's very little accountability, and it's very easy to be toxic from your keyboard. However, if we're having a conversation like we are right now, where we're able to see each other, where there's that immediate feedback, where I can get so much more context in terms of the communication, because I see your facial expressions and all of that, then it's much more likely that we will be respectful and more respectful. So that was really the base idea of GetVokl. It needs to be live video. so that the quality of the interaction is elevated. And then we figured out, well, how can we give that a purpose, right? We're not building a business conferencing software. Zoom already exists, right? How are we going to give this a purpose? And then we really found that podcasters are probably the most loved digital creators because they're very authentic and really connect with their audience. People often say podcasters, it feels like the friend in my ear or something like that. And so what we're doing with GetVokl, we're really unlocking that potential for podcasters to build interactive communities.
That's so beautiful. What, congratulations to you. I definitely want to check it out with everything that we're doing here on Live from My Living Room. So I'm really excited about that. What other types of content are you featuring? I know that you're really excited about your family and parenting focused podcast.
So what we've done, and this has really led to the platform growing, is that we put together programming where we essentially get podcasters that have thematically similar podcasts together and schedule them out kind of like TV or radio programming. And so we started with a relationship and dating and even sexuality based content block that we call the Connection Zone on Wednesday nights. Then we added True Crime Thursday. We have Fandom Friday, which is all about nerd culture and
Oh,
fandom. We've launched now also our Monday, we call it Mentor Monday content block, and part of that is family and parenting focused podcasters. So we think that's something that's extremely exciting, probably especially in this COVID time where parents need to be teachers as well as kids aren't going to school. And so it's all about podcasters that really help out when it comes to the topics of how to parent well and how to run a family in COVID, but also outside of that.
so how does it work? Do the podcasters have to pay to be on this platform, or is it the viewer that has to pay a subscription to get access to all of these?
So no one has to pay right now. Our model is that we have built a virtual donation revenue model for creators. So if you love the content that you're experiencing, you can just tip your creator, and it's awesome to see how the audience does that, even though they don't have to. We're going to be launching soon also what we call channel subscriptions. So if you kind of like Patreon. So if someone loves your podcast, Lisa, then on GetVokl, then they can just choose to subscribe to your channel and then contribute with a monthly payment as well. And there's a couple other ways that we want to help creators monetize, right? So the engagement, the community building is where it starts, but we really want to support creators in getting paid. And at the same time keep the platform free, and at the same time also stay away from ads, because ads and podcast content I feel don't really work together that well. So there's great ways of doing this where the audience is willing to pay, and if you give them the opportunity to do so, they will.
That is so cool. I know that this is just another step in your entrepreneurial journey that started in Europe for you.
Yeah, I'm from Germany, and my entrepreneurial journey started, I would say, between Berlin and London, which are the European startup hubs.
Are
I,
they?
I would say so. They're the main European startup hubs, both of them. I mean,
Interesting.
there's a couple others, but it's really Berlin and London. And so I started as a fintech entrepreneur. So there were two tech companies that I've been involved with before GetVokl. One of them is called SumUp, which is essentially the European competitor to Square Payments, right? Card acceptance for small merchants. It was really awesome to see, be part of building that company from the ground. And today it's, I think, 2,000 employees worldwide and massively profitable, a multi-unicorn. Then I co-founded another business that gave credit to SMBs. And so we sort of simplified the whole process of applying for a loan. You don't have to go to a branch anymore. That essentially was sold to an Italian bank. And then at some point I was like, okay, I can, I'm an expert in fintech, or I'm going to learn something completely new and solve some of the issues, as I mentioned initially, that I really see when it comes to social media and how we can build better experiences that lead to better community. And that's really where GetVokl fits in and why I'm so passionate about this company.
That is so cool. Well, congratulations to you and all of your success. And where can people find out more about you and GetVokl?
Yeah, thank you so much. So we're at GetVokl on any social platform. And otherwise, you can find us on the App Store or on Google Play. And of course, we have the web version as well. And it's just GetVokl, GetVokl.com.
Great. This was so much fun, Alex. Thank you so, so much.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa. I
I
appreciate it.
look forward to checking out your platform very, very soon.
Yeah, please do. It's definitely growing, and I think like our time has come. This thing's it's about to explode.
We need positive content online, like you said. It's just so negative, and people fight, and just the messaging out there is so divisive. Like, we just need like some normal content that, a broad population can sink their teeth into.
I fully agree. Initially, we thought, okay, let's just build a live video version of Twitter and, discuss the political hashtags. Didn't work
Yeah.
because folks are only ready to engage in controversial discussion
Yeah.
that much. It's quite limited. So our approach today is get people together based on the mutual passions that they have, right? People love podcasts. And the funny thing about podcasts is you'll love a certain true crime podcast, but you'll have very different opinions on, let's say, politics or whatever, what have you, right? And so building that community first about something that people are already passionate about, both in terms of the content and the creator, then creates those relationships where people that did not know each other before become friends online, and then they can branch out and maybe figure out another topic as they've already built that relationship. And then that is a foundation that is much more stable for also discussion about politics. And so we're still doing the same thing, but we're approaching it in a different way that's more natural to how people behave and think, and the
Yeah.
psychology.
Well, kudos to you. Again, thank you so much. This was so much fun.
Yeah, thank you so much. Take care.
Have a great day.
Yes,
Bye.
you too. Bye.